Ecclesiasticus 36:6. Show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. Before getting on with this video, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. May Yahweh Bashim Yahushai continue to be with you, elect out there. I'm your brother Yahweh Call from Great Millstone, Orlando, and Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Yahweh through his only begotten son Yahweh Shai, is getting ready to magnify his name. As the scriptures say, the Lord is known through his judgments, as well as his salvation. All right. And as I said before, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has everyone right where he wants them. And for the majority of these people, they're sleeping on our power. While you have those of us, and Lord willing, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai continues to rest his spirit unto us. That's why we refer to ourselves as the hopeful elect, because we're damn sure on the right track. You know, we're serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushai with sincerity and in truth, striving for the names, all right, because it's all about the Lord's reputation at the end of the day. That's why, again, the magnification and glorification of the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which, again, while we're striving for the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the world, they're sleeping on our power. The very power and the names of the powers that we serve, these people take lightly. You know, of course, because we have zeal, it's a vexation unto us, because we're willing to die for this. We're willing to die for the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We're willing to die for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And, you know, we take this serious because it's deadly serious. All right. Again, it is a matter of life and death. But while we have that zeal, again, the majority of these people, they care less about the very power that again we're willing to die for. So it's a vexation, of course. It's a vexation. But one way or the other, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, he's going to get his. All right. His name will be glorified, magnified and glorified throughout the four corners of the earth. And we're just grateful to be on this side. And again, may Yahweh Bashim Yahushai continue to give us a spirit to endure these things. You know, may the Lord continue to give us a spirit to see us through this until the very end. You know, those men that stood so stiffly for the names, which is reiterated, stressed throughout the scriptures as far as the names. It's important. All right. So just a little video. Lord willing, this is edifying. Isaiah 49. Isaiah 49:5. And now saith Yahweh that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, though Israel be not gathered. So although 2/3, again, they take this for granted. They're playing games. They count the Lord for slack. They're sleeping on our power. So although they won't be together, Israel won't be gathered, right? It says, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of Yahweh, and my power shall be my strength. So you see, all right, because, you know, again, at the end of the day, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, he's going to get his. He's going to get his one way or the other. And we're just grateful to be found while the train is moving, all right? Jumping on the train while it's moving. Getting on the bandwagon now. before it's too late. You see, because one way or the other, Yahweh Bashim Shai, he's going to get his respect. All right. Scripture said every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. You know, people are going to find out real quick, there is no such thing as an atheist. Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to make everyone a believer. It's just a matter of how you're going to get it. How are you going to believe? One way or the other, everyone's going to believe. Isaiah 66. Verse 10, rejoice ye with Jerusalem and be glad with her, all ye that love her. And I'm going to go to this real quick. Bear with me. Got to look for this. Going into, again, when it comes to the mindset of the elect. And again, we know we're on the right track. It is a thing of humility. You know, we're humble with it, but we are confident. Because serving Yahweh Bashim Shai with sincerity and in truth, hey, that's how we know we're on the right track. There are jakes that say that they're in the truth. There are jakes in the truth. They know the names, but they're playing games. That's why when that day comes, roughly paraphrasing, you're gonna have those Israelites. But Lord, you know, I taught in your name. But what is Yahweh Shai going to say? Depart from me, I never knew you. You have plenty of Israelites out here that they know the names, but they're not serving Yahweh Bashim Shai in sincerity and in truth. And you know, I mentioned going back to that account in Luke 19, going into the account with Zacchaeus, and I've just been meditating on it ever since I brought it out the other day, because again, out of all those Israelites, who did Yahweh Shai point out? He pointed out Zacchaeus, because that's sincerity. Because, you know, Jake, they saw Yahweh Shai, but they were just looking to, well, what can we get out of this? What can he do for us? You know, just having a nigga mentality around Yahweh Shai. You know, so again, going into that account, I've been meditating on it very heavy, because again, like the fake and phony Christians say, God knows my heart, which he does, and it's full of shit and pork. Now again, when it comes to the elect, all right, who are truly, diligently seeking Yahweh Bashim Shai with all their hearts, their soul, their mind, with everything that they got, you know, giving it all to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Song of Solomon 1 and 3. Because of the Savior of thy good ointments, thy name is as an ointment poured forth. So being completely endowed with our husband, being all in, all chips in on Yahweh Bashim Shai. As it says, therefore do the virgins love thee. So you see, those elect, and only the elect are the only ones on this side. Again, as I mentioned, Yahweh Bashim Shai, he's going to be glorified. His name is going to be glorified through destruction as well as the salvation. All right. Because, you know, we're not doing this for no reason. We are not as one that beats the air. Shadow boxing. All right. This is not for no reason. And, our reward is going to be, we're going to be able to reap the benefits real soon. Going back to that Isaiah 66. And 10 again, rejoice ye with Jerusalem. As I mentioned, they count with the Zacchaeus, right? Yahushua called him from that sycamore tree, right? And Zacchaeus, he received Yahushua with gladness, with joyfulness. Going the extra mile, above and beyond for Yahushua. And that's how we got to be in the spirit. It says, and be glad with her, all ye that love her, rejoice for joy with her, all ye that mourn for her, that ye may suck and be satisfied with the breast of her consolations, that ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. For thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream. Then shall ye suck, ye shall be borne upon her sides, and be dandled upon her knees, as one whom his mother comforteth, so will I comfort you, and ye shall be comforted in Jerusalem. And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb, and the hand of Yahweh shall be known toward his servants, and his indignation toward his enemies. So you see, Isaiah 25, right? Hey, behold, this is our power. We have waited for him, right? This is our power. It's always possessive. Why is it always possessive? Because, Lord willing, as a hope for the elect, we're the only ones, out of all the billions of the people on the earth, man, we're the only ones truly, diligently, sincerely seeking Yahweh B'Shem Shai. And again, it's with all humility, but take pride in it. Out of all these billions of people on the earth, you are of the very, 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 very less than 1% few that's actually trying to serve Yahweh B'Shem Shai. So there is a sense of pride and righteousness that comes with that. While everyone else, as I said, his indignation is going to be toward them. So one way or the other, Yahweh B'Shem Shai is going to get his. I'm going to jump down. Verse 18, for I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. And I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them into the nations, to Tarshish, Pul, and Lud, that draw the bow, to Tubal and Javan, to the isles afar off, that have not heard my fame, neither have seen my glory, and they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles. Yeah, the nations they're going to see too. As a matter of fact, reading on, and they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto Yahweh out of all nations, upon horses and in chariots and in litters and in mules, and upon swift beasts to my holy mountain Jerusalem, saith the Lord, as the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel unto the house of Yahweh. So, as I say, the badassness of Yahweh B'Shem Shai, back in ancient times, right, when the king, oftentimes, right, when the king came through, you would have basically the servants carrying them, right, on those chariots, right, physically carrying them. Well, that's going to be us on a much more magnified scale. All right, these nations, they are literally going to be carrying us, all right, in chariots. You see, just as, like I said, the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of the Lord. So you see, Jacob's about to be decked out, man. And the nations, they're going to see this, and when they see this, surely this is a wise and understanding people, right? It says, and I will also take of them for priests and for Levites, saith the Lord. Yeah, every Israelite is going to have the laws, statutes in them. Every Israelite is going to be perfect. It says, verse 22, for as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, save Yahweh, so shall your seed and your name remain. Every brother's going to have their respected rank and position, right? It says, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord, right? Our gates are going to be continually open, roughly paraphrasing. The nations, they're going to continuously bring in, because according to the law, the Levites, man, they get 20%, an extra tenth on top of the, already tenth, right? So an extra 20% or an extra 10% on top of that. Because mind you, we're all spiritual Levites, all right? A kingdom of priests, right? So they're going to be bringing us the best of the best, right? The first fruits of whatever increase that they get. All the day long, man. They're just going to be bringing all the wealth and spices and so on and so forth. It says, and they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be abhorring unto all flesh. Yeah, because, at the end of the day, all those that didn't want to get down with the Lord's program, they're going to die. All right, point blank, period. But the beautiful thing about it is, as far as Israelites concerned, again, they're going to come back. They're going to come back in their right mind. Every Israelite will be perfect. But as far as the elect men, the aristocrats, the first dominion, as the scriptures say, we hope to be a part of that number, Lord willing. Again, man, this is not going unheard of. Our works, Lord willing, it is not going unheard of. How about Shema Shah sees what we're going through on the behalf of his name, and it's not going unheard of. It's not going unseen. So in Psalm 34 and 2, my soul shall make her boast in Yahweh, and the humble shall hear thereof and be glad. So you see, only the elect, all right, the little ones, all right, the meek, right, the beloved, the first fruits, man. Many code names for the elect throughout the scriptures are going to fully partake in be endowed the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. That's why I read that Song of Solomon, right? Being fully endowed like a ointment, man. You just got some anointing oil and you just pour it all over you, all over your body. Just being completely covered and endowed in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. Right? It says, verse 3, magnify Yahweh with me, and let us exalt his name together. Only the elect truly love Yahweh Shema Shai. Truly seeking Yahweh Shema Shai. So Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged. Yeah, because as I said, every Israelite is going to be perfect. But as far as these nations, they're still going to be in the flesh. All right, they are considered the dead. They're still going to be in the flesh, and they're going to have to be judged. Because if you to be kings, priests, judges, well, if the kingdom was for everyone, then who's to be judged? If the kingdom was for everyone, now everyone is going to benefit to an extent, even the nations, but they're still going to get judged. All right. And as a king, don't kings have subjects? Don't kings have servants? So as I read in Isaiah, that 66, man, how they're going to be carrying us, right, on chariots and horses and things of that nature. right? Because they're going to be our subjects, and they're going to love it. After 1,000 years of getting that rod beat upside their head, they're going to love it. Again, to quote, surely this is a wise and understanding people, right? Again, Revelation 11:18, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, right? So the innumerable multitude as well, those that were predestined to receive mercy, all right, from the elect to the innumerable multitude. It says, and then that fear thy name. So, you know, according to Slakia, as it said, and then that fear thy name. So you see, to all those that gave it their all for the names of Yahweh Bashim Shai, and there is a reward to come. All right, and again, you know, we're not doing this for no reason. And again, man, one way or the other, Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to get his, man. One way or the other, either through destruction, judgment, or salvation. Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh Bashim Shai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shai shall lift up a standard. So again, to all those that fear the names of Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right. Hey, you know, great things are getting ready to be done on the behalf of the elect. All right. Again, a part of that reward. All right. Hey, we all want to hear those words. Job well done, my faithful servant. Roughly paraphrasing. Right? Because that's what it's going to boil down to. That's what it's going to boil down to. Depart from me, I never knew you, or good job, my faithful servant. One of the two. One of the two. So one way or the other. One way or the other. All right. All those that fear the names of Yahweh Bashim Shai, serving Yahweh Bashim Shai with sincerity and the truth, giving it all. Hey, there's a reward. And likewise, on the contrary, hey, there's a reward for not fearing the names of Yahweh Bashim Shai. So again, either through judgment or salvation or through judgment. One way or the other, Yahweh Bashim Shai, his name is going to be magnified. All right, and he's going to get his glory. He's going to get his, one way or the other. All right. So Lord willing, this was edifying. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully, elect.